Hi, my name is Melanie Kinskey, and I'm an assistant professor of science education at Sam Houston State University. Today, I'm going to talk to you about planning your computer science lessons from the lens of societal impacts as they relate to your K-2 students. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Right. So within the rubric used for this project, there are specific components computer science lessons should include. From our past work, we found societal impacts to be an area in which teachers often forgot to emphasize, but it's so critical as we strive to meet the needs of our students as holistic learners who are prepared to function in a society with such rapid technological advancement. Hopefully the ideas presented in this video will inspire you as you plan your future lessons. This statement from the Wyoming Department of Education states that computer science is the study of computing principles, design, and applications, both hardware and software, the creation, access, and use of information through algorithms and problem solving, and the impact of computing on society. From the statement, we really see how important it is to consider the impact of computer science on society within the Wyoming Department of Education's mission. So what do we mean by social impact or societal impact? Societal impact is the effect of research in the real world, a change or benefit beyond academia to the economy, society, culture, public policy or services, health, and the environment or quality of life. So the real important takeaway from this diagram is that real world connection. So what do the standards say about computer science in the kindergarten through second grade band? By the end of second grade, students can protect and safeguard their information, follow and write step-by-step instructions, create programs to accomplish tasks, and work respectfully and responsibly with others in an online environment. Now it says by the end of second grade, but that doesn't mean this only happens in second grade, but that in kindergarten, first and second grade, we are working with our students to develop these skills so when they enter third grade, they already have them. Within the standards, there might be some overlap with societal impacts related to what we're teaching. So this is one second grade standard that I'll focus on for the purpose of this video. Demonstrate and describe the function of common components of computing systems, hardware and software, such as using a browser or a search engine. So the computer science standards don't have to be taught in isolation and can be reinforced and developed while teaching through other disciplines. So let's take a look at what happens when we add a content standard. So this science standard that I selected was a kindergarten standard. It says, describe how animals meet their needs based on where they live. So what are the societal impacts that we can tie to a lesson that is teaching the science content along with this computer science standard? So we look back at this diagram here. I have economy and environment highlighted. So let's say for the lesson, you're teaching your students about habitat loss and the implications of it. To relate your science standard to the computer science standard, students must use their search engines to learn about what different animals need in order to survive. Once they've built their understanding of the different needs, your lesson could shift to why animals tend to lose their habitat, which could then spark a conversation about building new houses for people to live in or creating more roads for people to access businesses. The science standard is innately linked to the environment, but also the economy. The more businesses in the area, the more money is exchanged for goods, thus creating an economic impact. So we also have a potential element for a math standard here as well for true interdisciplinary science. So continuing with the same lesson narrative, there are societal impacts related to the people in the area as well. As your students engage with the lesson, they could engage in a computer-based search to find news stories of a local animal, bears, or I grew up in Florida, so I would use alligators, finding their way into people's yards because they were in search of food and they lost their habitat. So the implications of losing their habitat was their food source was deplenishing. So students can begin to think about how building on new land without relocating animals who live there could impact the safety of humans in the immediate area. I want to also draw attention now to how the narrative relates to quality of life and health or safety of people living where land is developed and animals are losing their habitats and resources needed for survival. In reference to quality of life, the lesson idea could be a good opportunity for students to begin developing empathetic concerns for the animals as they consider their quality of life. And the final relevant criteria related to societal impact and these set of standards is policy. So now the students have engaged in research to identify what different animals need and how those animals are influenced by land development and habitat loss. A culminating project to the lesson could be a letter or a poster creating awareness and advocating for the safe relocation of animals whose habitat is about to be developed for the benefit of humans. So this was just one example of a science and a computer science lesson that incorporates societal impacts. But as you plan your computer science lessons, the key thing is to think about what your students will be able to relate to and how you can bring that real world component into your lesson and use it as a springboard for planning.